Well, then we keep it down. Hi, everybody. How are we doing today? It's Hillary and Deb with the Tuesday edition of the Ready, Set, Grow show. We needed to decharge last week. And there are going to be a few changes for just those who follow me. I know we're on Deb and my own page, but just for those who follow me, you're going to see a couple changes. But Deb and I, we're sticking to this Tuesday, 12:30. All right, every Tuesday, 12:30. So excited to be here because today we're going to be talking about who are you becoming. And this is actually, as we were talking about it, we were like, we can't do this in one live. We have to do this as a series because there's so many things that go into who you are becoming. And why are we talking about this? Well, it's kind of twofold because we both realize that to be an entrepreneur, to work from home, to be the independent, well, not independent, but they're like the entrepreneur, the solopreneur. You're doing a lot of things and you are, without realizing it, becoming something else, someone else. And this idea, yes, and Deb has a powerful story about that. And one of the things for me where it hit me like we are all becoming something, and we should focus on what we are becoming rather than on what we are doing. All right. Was because I was in, this is totally off. I mean, it's not totally off topic, but at the same time, that's my story. I was on a parenting, like a family enrichment webinar over the weekend. And they spoke about how parents, a lot of times when we think about our vision as parents for our kids, like our vision for our kids, we think about what they are going to do, right? Even though we say that they're going to be a lawyer, be a doctor, be an accountant, they're going to be a nurse, they're going to be a teacher. All of that is focusing really on what they are going to do and not necessarily on who they're going to be. Are they going to be honest people? Are they going to be hardworking people? Are they going to be people that you could count on, reliable people? Are they going to be that? And in the journey of entrepreneurship, we get bogged down with what we're doing because we've got to do a lot, but we're forgetting about who we're becoming. And Deb, I want you to share that story about, who you've become.
That's very true. I started out young mom, went into nursing, and I love nursing. But I knew there was something inside that like wanted to get out. Well, eventually, network marketing came into my life, and I'm like, yeah. But it was kind of like, okay, I need has some help here. I can do it, and so anyway, I sought out mentorship and communities that would help me. And it's like I feel like I am becoming Superwoman with my cape. It's everything that I have learned how to do. Technology is one, but just everything that encounters things that an entrepreneur encounters just adds one more little chink to my chain, and it's like, wow, this is really cool. And sometimes my husband just kind of looks at me because I think he realizes, who is this woman? Yes, I'm still the same woman, but I feel like I don't know. I'm watching. I'm kind of binging on the Marvel movies. I don't know if you know about those.
Yes.
My grandson has given me the whole slew of them, and I feel like I'm becoming an Avenger or something. It's just I'm getting empowered is what is happening, and it is awesome. Do I struggle? Do I have days where I just want to say, nuts to this? I don't want to do it anymore. Yeah. But that other part of me that says, you let me out, now let me grow. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I'm doing. So, yes, I'm still Deb, but I am becoming a more rounded Deb. a more, I don't want to say intelligent, because the intelligence has always been
Still
there.
there. Exactly.
It's just getting pulled out and getting polished. So
Yeah.
yes, I am becoming as an entrepreneur, and I love it. It's awesome.
It's awesome. Yeah. And
Yeah.
when you see, it's when you focus on the B, and it hit me, for me, it hit me with that talk with the kids, because you say you're an entrepreneur, but what does that mean, right? To be an entrepreneur. And during this series, right? So this is going to be a series, because as we were talking about it, we were like, oh my goodness, this is a lot to talk about. But for example, one of my calls with my mentor was about financials, right? And understanding your numbers and all of this type of stuff. And I was like, for all these years, I've never thought of that, right?
Mhm.
So you're becoming somebody that's a little more aware of, and that's the first thing I think as an entrepreneur, you become aware of what you need to become aware of. Let's put
Yeah.
it that
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
um,
Exactly.
and it takes a lot to get to that point, right? It does take a lot to get to that point. So during this series, you're going to hear a little bit about different things that you need to be aware of, and different things that you're going to grow in. So like, not everybody, as Deb was saying, technology. And I just told her, I just finished doing a little video series on something that for me is like absolutely natural. Okay. It's completely natural. I could go in there, build. But there was a point in time when I couldn't do that, and I learned it,
Mhm.
right? So sometimes that whole doing and being, so it's now, yeah, you could say, okay, great, you're an expert at, slapping websites together. Okay, right. But at the same time, it took a while to get to that efficient point to be proficient in building websites. All right. And whereas Deb was talking about that technology was like, before it was scary, and now she's very comfortable with certain aspects of
Yeah.
technology, right? So likewise with sales, with closing, there's some people who they call themselves entrepreneurs and they don't ever sell a thing. I'm not saying anything about any entrepreneurs. All right. But when your mentor comes to you and says, you need to sell something, then you say to yourself, oh, yeah, I do. Okay. Again, that is stepping into a different level of what you need to do as an entrepreneur, right? So this series is going to go through quite a few things, right? Deb, you mentioned there was technology, sales, finances, and what are the other?
Uh,
Marketing, right?
yes, my marketing genius,
Yeah.
sales and closing and building and scaling,
Mhm.
executing the plan.
Yeah.
And I want to just kind of comment about sales and closing. Oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. That's probably possibly what you're thinking. Well, you know what? We do it all the time. Like when my kids were little, and Hillary has talked about this, it's like they want dessert. Well, as adults, we can eat the dessert first. But as children, it's like, no, finish your veggies first, and then you can have it. Okay, we're selling them on eating those vegetables.
Mhm.
And when they eat the vegetables and get the dessert, we have closed the proposition, so to say. So we've done it all of our lives. But all of a sudden, as an entrepreneur, I have to sell and close. Are you kidding me? And I have to tell you, what really made me open my eyes to this was a mentor was talking about how we do it all the time. He used his 3-year-old son. He's playing soccer. He's 3, but was invited to be on a 5-year-old team. And so he could not keep up with the kids. Obviously, he's only 3. A big difference happens even in a child's life in a year's time with muscle development and nerves and all of that. And so he comes over to the sideline to his dad who was the only dad there, because the rest of the dads were probably working. And he goes, I can't keep up with them. And he says, you don't come over here and talk to me. You go to your coach. He said, but I will tell you, if you score a goal, I'll give you a popsicle. So the moms, as he trots off to his coach, the moms are going, oh, like, how mean. No, not really. Anyway, Sebastian scored actually 2 goals. And when he scored his first one, he turned around and went, popsicle. And my mentor says nobody understood it but he and I. And so he sold him on, you make a goal, you get a popsicle.
You get a popsicle. Exactly. Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, I've done that all my life, And we wives, we do it to our husbands all the time.
Yes.
Also. So that's just kind of in a nutshell. It's not scary. We've done it. We've been doing it. And it's actually kind of awesome. So as long as we keep from our hearts to do it, it'll flow.
Definitely. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was amazing. Yes. Popsicle. I love that. That was too cute. And I do it with my kids all the time. Yeah, with the whole breakfast and not breakfast, veggies and cake or juice. That's a big one. They want juice with their meal. And I'm like, well, let's eat everything up on the plate and then you could get the juice, And I know sometimes a lot of people think that, okay, so that's easy for the kid because we know what the outcome is, right? But it's the same thing, like, if we think of like all the business coaches out there, you want a result and you're going to get the results by going through this program or doing this or elevating yourself. So the thing is, do you want to be that other person? Do you want it badly enough? Like the kids, they want that popsicle badly enough. So they're going to score that goal, right? Do you want financial freedom badly enough that you're going to do what it takes? All right. And that's the question as entrepreneurs that you have to ask. So want that financial freedom as badly as the kids want the popsicle or the juice or the cake. And that's how they eat broccoli and spinach and all these horrible things that I'm like, oh, it's good for me. It's good for me. Okay. So it's like, want the cake as badly as the kids want the cake. All right. So that is it for today. Setting up for, the next few weeks, we're going to be talking a little bit about how you're going to become in these different areas. We're talking finances. We're talking marketing. We're talking executing your plan. We're talking growing and scaling. All right. So we will see you next week for another episode of Deb and Hillary.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.